Hey everyone, I'm Chad Lawson, and I want to walk you through on how to play my song Stay. So I'm going to show you how. Let's go ahead and dive in. There is a link for the sheet music down below, so if you want to click on that, it is free, so you can download it, follow along, and let's just go from there. Okay, so it's a really simple song, mostly just 4 chords to be honest. If anyone knows me, simple is my favorite thing, next to space. All right, so with the melody, let's go ahead and dive in. The key is E flat, but we're starting on the 4th chord, which is A flat. The melody is just 3 notes in the right hand. Let's check it out. So with this melody, all I'm doing is just C, C, G. It's the 3rd of the A flat, 3rd of the A flat, and then the major 7. I'm going to move down to the next chord, which is an E flat. The next chord is a B flat triad, but what's different about it is I'm actually playing the D in the left hand. So with the B flat triad, it's normally B flat, D, F, B flat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, my root, my B flat, and I'm going to move it up to the bass. Okay? So instead of playing this, I'm now doing this. It just adds that little extra movement. It's the same chord. It's a really great technique. We'll talk about it more later on. So going back with this, so I now have that B flat triad in my right hand. I'm going to play the root, which is a B flat. Again, another B flat, and then an F, the 5th. My next chord is a C minor, so I'm just doing just the triad, root position. There's that 3rd again. What I love about moving the 3rd into the bass is it allows some movement without having to change the harmony. So it's one of those things where it's almost as if you're adding a different chord to it, but you're not really. You're just kind of changing some of the bass notes. So I'm going to play through that section really quick so you have an understanding of what it sounds like, and then we'll keep going. Great. Let me show you what I'm doing with the left hand right there. So it's really simple. I'm just doing the root 5 of the chord and then the root. So A flat, E flat, A flat. A lot of times when you're playing a chord, and most of you pianists, you know this, with the left hand, it really is great just to give it that shell of just the root and 5. Of any chord. I mean, that's just like the fundamental basics right there. Right, so it's really nice and simple. So I'm just doing root 5 root. And then with the next chord, that E flat, same thing, root 5 root. E flat, B flat, E flat. And again, just as we talked about a second ago, I'm doing the 3rd of that B flat triad. There's the F, that 5. And then C minor. So if you'll watch my left hand there in this section, you'll see what's going on. So just focus on the left hand while I play this first 4 bars. Here we go. Great. That's all there is to it, really. I mean, that's the melody, that's the chord changes, everything. So I'm going to play that section, and then I'm going to go ahead and play the next 3 to 4 bars, and I'll show you what I mean. So let me play this whole section really quick. So that second time through, it actually plays exactly what we just went over, those first 4 measures. However, it stops on that B flat over D. So it stops before it goes back to the E flat. I'm going to play that second section really quick. The only thing that's different right there is I'm just playing the B flat triad, and again, still leaving the 3rd in the left hand. Great. All right. So that's what I call the A section, right? So that's the first section of the A section. Now, all of that repeats one more time, the entire part, those entire 8 bars. So I'm going to go ahead and play from the very beginning up to where the B section is. You'll understand as soon as you hear it. Okay, here we go. Did anyone notice what I did right there, that very last chord, that last measure? So with the B flat, instead of the D higher up, I actually moved the D down below. So I'm still playing that D, I'm still playing the 3rd of that B flat right there. So it's great. So let's move on. All right, next section is the B section. Really simple. So at the very beginning, those chords were A flat, E flat, B flat over D, C minor. A flat, E flat, B flat, C minor. Now this B section, it's actually backwards. It's those same chords, we're just going in reverse order. So C minor, B flat over D, E flat, A flat. You'll see what I mean. All right, let's take a look at it. Let me show you those chords really quick. C minor, B flat over D, E flat, A flat, but it's a major 7, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. Cool. All right, let me show you what's going on. Just like we had in the first section, in the A section, the melody is relatively similar as far as the pattern is concerned with the B section. So with the right hand, I'm doing E flat, G. That's my C minor. And notice in the left hand I was doing root, 5, root. Next measure is that B flat over D. In the right hand I'm playing F, F, B flat. And again, the same thing, since we are playing B flat, I am putting the D in the left in the bass note there. So instead of it sounding like this, here I'll give you an example. Right? That just sounds like it doesn't really have great movement forward, right? It almost feels like it just is off. So I'm going to show you the difference between the third being in the bass and then just the root. So you just heard just the root. I'm going to play it one more time, and then I'm going to play it with the third in the bass. Here we go. That third in the bass gives it such a lift, right? When you're playing just the root, it just sounded just kind of bland, almost stagnant, like you really didn't have anywhere to go, to be honest. And so when you have that movement, that forward progression, C minor, it's just a really fun technique to try adding some movement. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. I do that quite a bit. So where were we? The B flat. So the melody. Now I'm at E flat. I've got G, G, B flat. That last note, I'm playing a C to set me up for A flat major 7. That's on the way. Okay, so I'm going to play that E flat measure right there. Here's my A flat major 7. So over that A flat chord, I'm just playing G, G, C. All right, I'm going to play this whole B section, and you're going to hear it in context. Here we go. That second half of the B section is almost identical, almost. There's some slight variations. Let's walk through that really quick. So the very first one being the C minor, which we've already done. The B flat over D, which we've already done. Now it's a little different. We're still playing that E flat, but I'm doing a B flat and the octave in the right hand. So I'm doing the 5, 5, 3. And then I'm leaving that there for the A flat chord. So what happens with that A flat major 7, I'm playing technically what they call a 9, so the B flat, going down to another B flat, and then to the major 7. Cool. I'm going to play that whole section, the B section, and then we're going to move on. All right? Here we go. Okay, really quick, two things I didn't talk about. The last two measures of that A flat, I'm walking the left hand up. So I have the root 5, 3. I'm going to put this together in my head. So and then I continue this pattern as you've seen, but in the left hand, I'm doing the 5, the 6, and then the major 7. So E flat, F, G. One other thing I want to show you, it's a little bit of a trick. In measure 24, for those who are paying attention to the sheet music, let me play the section for you really quick. Right here. How do you jump without it sounding detached, right? This is where in music, you are the one that's driving. You can do anything you want. You can speed things up, you can slow things down. When you have a jump that's going from this F all the way up to B flat, take your time getting there. Pull back a little bit as far as the tempo is concerned. I'm going to give you an example really quick. That was a little bit exaggerated, but I was trying to show the point of just pulling back and really taking your time and letting your hand get to that position, not having to feel like it's a constant metronome or a tick, right? Because if we played just strictly that, the music would be completely without any emotion, right? So I'm going to show you that one more time. And there you go. All right. The great thing is you have already learned now about 80% of this song. The next section is the A section. So it goes back and it repeats all of that stuff that we just learned. You already know this. We just went over it. So that's great. So it goes all the way back to the A section and then it repeats the B section again. That part, right? Great. Now, what happens right there at the end of that B section, I'm going to play through. I'm going to play the very last section of that B, and then I'm going to go into what we'll call section C. Here we go. I don't know if you can hear the birds or not, but there were some birds chirping right out the door. And if you're wearing headphones, you can probably hear them. I love it. I think it's hysterical. All right, let's go over that section really quick. The last two measures leading up to section C. And then what are we doing in section C? All right, so let's check it out. With the end of section B, you guys know this part. Here's my A flat major 7, but this time instead of playing the B flat, I'm actually going to play the 3rd in my right hand. So it's almost like we're giving it like some resolution. We're allowing it to resolve. During this section, I really wanted the left hand to have the focus. Again, that forward movement, that climbing higher. And so with the left hand, that's actually what I was trying to do. A flat, E flat, C, and then I'm going up by the scale. D, E flat, G. And I'm ending on that A flat right there. Okay, so I'm going to play that section on record, just those two measures right there. Cool. And then moving into this next section, I love space. You know that. So of course I'm going to have a song where we have just like, you know, you play the chord and then you take a nap, and then you play the chord and you take another nap, right? Space is where the magic happens. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace the space. Okay, so really it's just three chords: A flat, E flat, B flat. But I'm just doing them in different inversions. Okay, so the very first one, from the bottom up, A flat, which is the root, E flat, C. Now there's a term called voice leading. We're gonna ignore that for right now, but basically I'm wanting to move my hands as little as possible while changing chords. So if I'm wanting to move from A flat, and I'm wanting to move to E flat, the shortest distance for me to be able to do so is moving this A flat down to G. I'm keeping this E flat because that's now my root in the E flat triad. And then up here, I need my 5. I need my 5 of the E flat chord, so I'm just going to move that down here. So there's my E flat chord. Normally, it would look like this. I'm just taking this G and moving it down an octave. Now, I'm wanting to move to B flat with moving my hands as little as possible. The fun thing is I already have one of those. I've got the root right here, the B flat. And then I'm going to move this down to here to give me my 5. So I've got my F. And then I need a third. I need to find out what I can do with the third right here, which is now D. I'm going to review those chords. I'm going to play them for you really quick one more time. I'm not going to name them. You'll hear the difference. A flat, E flat, B flat. It's just amazing what 3 notes can do. If you look at those Bach chorales, it's amazing what he could do with 4 notes, right? And then it really does come down to simplicity of like, what can you do with like the simplest of paint strokes? And I just love simple. All right, during that section, I'm actually keeping the sustain pedal down all the way, okay? Now, in the next section, we're going to go, it goes down one more time. So we're still doing those 3 chords and we're still moving down as we do it. Okay, so let me show you those next 3 chords. A flat, E flat, B flat. So again, A flat, there's my root, C, E flat. I'm wanting to move to E flat. Right there's my root. I've already got that guy, so I only need to move these 2 in my right hand. So I have E flat, B flat, G. And now I want to move to the B flat triad. How am I going to do that? And now I want to move to the B flat triad. So what am I going to do with this? So right here, I've got my E flat. And so now the last chord, I want to go from E flat to B flat. So if I've got my hand position right here for the E flat, what do I need to move? What do you think? If I am trying to build a B flat triad, I've already got my B flat, so that guy is safe. If I need to move this down to the 3rd and this down to the 5. So if I play those 3 chords, A flat, E flat, B flat, stop the video, play those 3 chords. The magic isn't in something that I wrote. The magic is in the simplicity of those 3 chords. And it's just really just Beautiful. I'm going to play that whole section right there, that section C right there. Okay, here we go. Keeping the pedal down the entire time. So what happens when you're playing with that pedal down is you're getting these overtones, you're getting these lush notes that are just being held over, and it's just making this luscious bed of sound. Don't count through that section. It's not meant to be counted. Really just strike the chord, just wait, and then strike the next chord and just wait. And just use your ears. Your ears will tell you when it's time. Your ears will tell you when it's been too long. And in my opinion, there is no such thing as too long of a wait in between chords. But that's just me personally. Okay, we're almost done with the song. It actually goes back to the very first part of the A. Okay, so what happened right there at the very end? I have to be honest, I did not follow the music note for note. And I probably never will, to be truthful. So there's two ways of going about this. You can actually set out and write each note at the very end of that, of whatever the sheet music has, or I'm going to show you a really fun way to be able to play it yourself and kind of create your own ending, which I think is awesome, because the more that you are able to do stuff on your own and creating your own material, I think the better. All right, so you know that first section that we just did, right? Right. So what happens right towards the very end before we do that climb all the way up? Okay, let me give you a little bit of theory here. Don't freak out. I'm going to keep it really super simple. We are in the key of E flat, which only has 3 flats. E flat, A flat, B flat. If I were to play an E flat scale, that's the key that we are in. But what's interesting about this piece is we're actually not starting on E flat, we're starting on A flat, which is constantly giving this sound that it's wanting to eventually go home. It's wanting to go to that E flat, it's wanting to resolve, right? But in that sense, this very last climb that we're doing up, instead of resolving on E flat, instead of it sounding like this, that would have been fine. It sounds fine. It's fine. It sounds fine, right? But instead of it just going the end, what if we had it to where the song doesn't end and it just sounds like it's just kind of like floating off into the distance, which is what I was really hoping that it would do. So one of the techniques in doing this is obviously not ending on the root, but ending on a different chord. And one of those more popular techniques is on the 4 chord, which is our A flat. Now, the fun thing about this though, is that we are going to learn kind of a mode, which is called Lydian, which is one of my favorites. You hear it all the time. Danny Elfman does it like tons. right? It's that whimsical, floaty, kind of like feel-good kind of sound. And so what's going on there is I'm actually playing an A flat chord in my left hand, but I'm still playing the E flat scale in my right hand. Technically, an A flat chord has a D flat in it if you're in that key, if you're in that scale. But bear with me here. Stick with me. I see some of you glazing. Just hold on. I promise you, it's going to be something really cool to learn. If we take this A flat and we play an E flat scale over that, there's that Lydian sound. Right? What song is that? Exactly. Put it down in the messages. I'll be kind of curious to see if anyone picks up on it. So that being said, I'm going to, in the left hand, I'm going to play A flat, but in the right hand, I'm just going to play anything in the key of E flat. You literally can play whatever you want. It's not going to sound like a mistake. Check it out. I had no idea what I was playing. That wasn't planned. I wasn't like thinking, okay, I'm going to play this note, I'm going to play this note. I'm literally just hitting random notes in the key of E flat, and it gives it this great floaty sound. So right there at the very end, here we go. So that is Stay. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe and share. If I've missed anything, or if you have any questions about anything at all, please message it below, and I will do my best to get back to you. So I hope you've had a good time doing this, and thanks so much. Take care. Talk to you soon.